Right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We are hosting one of our webinars, our investor webinars, where we will, you as the investors will see another of our campaigns that is currently live on site. And they will be giving a 15-minute presentation and followed by some Q&As shortly. And I'll do the introductions in a few moments. But just want to welcome you. We've got a great number of people joining us again today, which is great. And again, good testimony to the caliber of the companies that we've got on our site at the moment, which is great. We've got 3 live campaigns, as you may have seen recently. Moby is doing very, very well with 540,000 invested into it so far. We have HorsePay, who have got 60,000 invested. They're looking for 100,000. And of course, we've got DigiTally, who we're going to be seeing today. All 3 of them are EIS companies. So if you as an investor, if you want to put €1,000 in, you'll get 400 euros of that back from the tax plan when you do your tax return next year, which is a great incentive for you to invest into business. And again, many of the companies that we have on our site are Enterprise Island companies as well, and HPSU, again, giving you great comfort in the fact that that EI have invested into the business, or are certainly thinking of investing into the business. And that is another testament to the caliber of the companies we've got. But today is all about DigiTally. So I want to introduce you to 2 of their employees, co-founder, or founder, if you like, Patrick McDermott. Patrick, maybe you can switch your camera on and say hi. And also we have Arthur Leonovitz as well, who's the CTO of DigiTally. And Arthur is in the background and is going to be there to answer any questions a little bit later on. So we have got Patrick, who's going to be doing the presentation for the next 15 minutes. As usual, we have our Q&A session as well afterwards, and I encourage you to enter your questions as the presentation goes on into the Q&A button, and both myself and Fergal will fire those questions for you to Patrick and to Arthur, and you can listen to their responses a little bit later on. So, Patrick, you can just do a quick introduction to yourself, and then you can get your slide deck up and running, please, if you can.
Great stuff. No, thanks a million for the introduction, Chris, and good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us and for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to what I have to say about our exciting new venture, DigiTally. I'll start off with a question. And when you think of counting stock or inventory, what do you think of? There's one of 2 things that people tend to think of. One is pen and paper counting, using a clipboard and then putting it into Excel. And the second thing is people think of is scanning of barcodes. But what happens when the product doesn't have any barcodes? What DigiTally does, it's a software platform that enables multi-site food businesses to count, collate, and report on their food margins. What it means is that it combines a counting app with a reporting dashboard, which means that businesses can collate all of that information considerably faster than doing it manually. It's using one systemized method for generating all of this information, and significantly reduces the amount of time and the amount of errors that's currently happens with a manual process. It means less time counting and more time analyzing, which is a much better use of time. So why is this a problem? Food businesses such as deli operations, contract catering, hospitality businesses, including hotels, restaurants, pubs, cafes, they all purchase ingredients and then they turn them into recipes. Now, the difference with that is a retail outlet would buy a bottle of Coke and sell a bottle of Coke. There's no actual production process that takes place, but there is with a food business. And with a food business, their #1 metric is their gross profit margin. And if losses are occurring, they need to know it quickly. Now, doing it manually or counting all of this in a manual way for one site is a problem, and a significant problem. But for 10 sites or 100 sites, this is a major operational issue. The current system, the way that people use it, is inefficient. It's very manual, it's time consuming, it's highly error prone, and it also lacks the real-time data that businesses need in order to control their food costs. We believe that using DigiTally, that it's time for these businesses to ditch the pen and paper, to get rid of the clipboard, and then the need to see about going lean and to go digital in their processes in order to get their information significantly faster and in a more timely manner. There's two key metrics that I'd like to share with you. One is the gross profit margin, and that we've done a survey across 30 deli operations. And what we found is that the average increase in them using DigiTally was 4.1%. What that means is 30,000 euros directly to the bottom line. That's a significant amount just for one deli operation. The second is a return of investment, that the return on investment to the customer is between 2.2 to 3.8 months. What that means is that DigiTally isn't just a nice to have, it's a fundamental tool that these businesses need in order to manage a profitable business. The current customers that we have, several well-known names. There are 38 customers with 113 sites across Ireland and the UK. We have 2 of the top 3 contract catering firms in the UK. Combined, they have over 75,000 sites globally. We're currently working with them in a manner where in the new year, we have 90 sites that will be rolled out in Q1, and that'll have approximate value of 220,000. We believe that working with these larger organizations, we will be brought out locally and then rolled out globally as we progress along with them and further interaction, and when they can see the clear benefit of our system and of what it does. Currently with our groups, we have less than 1% unit adoption, meaning that there's substantial room for growth within our current customer base. The summary of the market, the total value of the market of food and non-food businesses is 9.6 billion. This is substantial. And within this, DigiTally are looking at the 1.1 million food businesses, which has a value of over 1 billion, that's large food businesses in the UK and the US only. We want to secure 6.3 million in gross revenues by the end of 2023. That means 35 customers with 100 sites each at an average value of 1,800 euros. The customers that fall in within that sector are contract catering, hospitality, and deli businesses. With recent economic events, we've been focusing more on the deli businesses and the contract catering rather than on the hospitality. But again, that is a huge area for us to promote our software. Why we're looking for this investment is that there's 144,000 sites, hospitality sites in Ireland and the UK that we're looking to specifically target. Now, the sector that DigiTally falls into is regarded as business process management, and that has an annual compound growth rate of 14.2%. The business model that we have is very simple, just the same as our software. Our pricing is broken down into 4 different pricing categories. We have essential, premium, hotel, or enterprise, depending on the establishment. Our sales approach will be a combination of direct and also online. Direct will be primarily towards the enterprise, hotel, and premium pricing packages, and then online sales more for the essential side of things. Our marketing will be a combination of online and offline. The online will be SEO, the search engine optimization, video testimonial, and also by cleverly targeting the different buyer personas that our customer base has, because a message that we have for one site will not appeal to another site, and we're acutely aware of that and something we're looking to address. The offline side, for when it returns, is really down the trade show side of things to get in front of our target market face to face. And yes, your eyes aren't deceiving you, it is direct mail. We have done some testing on this, and for our type of business to business product, this will be very effective. Some other important information to share with you around our customer acquisition costs, that in October, the most recently completed month, our customer acquisition cost was 394 euros per site. That gave us a return on investment to recoup our customer acquisition cost of 1.8 months. and our customer lifetime value is currently estimated as being 4 years plus. 4 years we feel is conservative. We have some customers who are reducing, who are currently renewing in their 3rd year of using our software. Our team is, again, there's 5 of us. There's myself. I started a company 16 years ago called stocktaking.ie. It's a business that is ISO certified. It is a service business that put teams of people into a premises to count stock, and we conduct over 1,500 stock takes per year. We're currently in the process of appointing a general manager to that company. Myself and Arthur have been working together in that business for the last number of years. Arthur is a technical expert in the development and the control of stock taking and stock control software. Michael has been working with us for the last almost 3 years now. Michael's a technical wizard when it comes to software development, website, and making things look better from a UX or a user experience preference. Our 2 newest recruits is Diarmuid, who's in sales. He's an excellent performer when it comes to the sales process. Very good both with customers over the phone and also from the LinkedIn side of things, which is going to be a hugely important way for us to promote ourselves. And then Seamus has a background in customer success. What customer success is bringing people through. So from the sale, it's passed over to customer success, and then he brings them through the onboarding process. Again, very patient, excellent experience in this. Again, we're blessed with a fantastic team. The competition to DigiTally, I've broken it down into 3 simple categories. That first you have the labor intensive or the manual pen and paper and counting and Excel sheets. That's always going to be there. There will always be some people that want to use that, but it's very prone to error. And a lot of times people don't even realize they have a problem because of mistakes in an Excel sheet. The second is professional stock taking firms. With my own background, I'm very aware of that. The challenge that these businesses tend to have is that, or these companies would have, is that when it comes to many sites, doing a stock take at a particular time of the month isn't suitable to a professional stock taking firm. And as well, it's not practical for weekly stock taking to get an external firm in to do that. The last one then is the software providers and EPOS. Now, a lot of EPOS companies, they tend to focus on the barcode side of things, whereas DigiTally focuses on non-barcode. What you have is that the systems tend to be complex, they're sometimes cumbersome, and can be quite difficult to use. And from what customers are telling us is that they've got very frustrated in using some of those systems because of its complexity. And when you have people who are transient in nature due to people in retail and in hospitality moving on a lot, they tend to take the system with them. And again, training in these systems can be quite cost ineffective. Other software providers tend to be in and around based on food. It could be allergens, recipe controls, temperature control. None of them solve the acute problem that DigiTally is solving. The investment we're looking to raise is 400,000, 200 from Spark and 200 from Enterprise Ireland, which will be matched funding. We're EIS self-assessed, which means that for every €1,000 that's invested, the investor receives a 40% tax rebate, meaning that the actual investment would be €600. We're part of the high potential startup of Enterprise Ireland. And so what this money will be spent on, it's a combination of our team and increasing our team in marketing and sales. And I put it as marketing and sales rather than sales and marketing. There is quite a difference with it. We know that we have a substantial market. It's letting them know that we exist. That's a big part of the promotion, of letting people know. Then there's promotion, both the online and offline, like I mentioned. And then there's a smaller part on the technical side of things. And then also the additional expenses. What this investment will do for us, it will deliver a monthly recurring revenue of 13,500 in 2020, and that will increase in 2023 up to 528,000 per month. The future of DigiTally is exciting. The different improvements and that are coming down the line include the improved projections, analytics, so based around reporting. We're also in the middle of developing an alerting function, which means that the actual analysis of the reporting, whether you're a site manager, a regional manager, or a head of finance, that the system will be analyzing the reports for them. Sustainability is huge for some of our large customers, and the ability to track your wastage and then to see a constant improvement of your wastage is very, very apt at the moment. The gamification around our app so as to increase the user engagement and to make things easier for people. Then there's also additional revenue stream. One of the good things about the Spark process to date is it has put us in touch with some really good investors, and what they've been challenging our thinking. And we believe that additional revenue streams around recipe costings and also benchmarking of the information is going to be hugely valuable in the future. API integrations for DigiTally to integrate seamlessly with other systems is something that we will be rolling out. We're talking to 2 operators currently that's going to make that happen. Where is it all going? The potential exit. We believe that we'll be acquired by the end of 2024. We have 2 potential or 3 possible outcomes that we believe. We've put down a few examples as to why we believe that. One is on Fourth Hospitality, another is the Access Group. They've made 3 acquisitions in 2019 alone, all for undisclosed sums. And the idea of them buying these other businesses is that it's something that they currently don't have or mightn't be professionals in, but they look to bolt on other services like this. Or we could be acquired by a current customer. We believe that with our sales in 2023 of 6.3 million will deliver a revenue of 2.5 million. 10 times that is a typical selling price for those type of businesses, such as ours. So that'll be 25 million sale, giving a 12x return for investors. To summarize things, we've developed the software, we have a strong customer base, and we're ready to scale. There's very strong customer lifetime value in what we do. And it's not an idea that we have, it's already validated by the market with our current customer base. We've secured 2 large multinational contract catering firms who have a combined 75,000 sites globally. And we have a 90 site rollout in Q1 with an approximate value of 220,000 euros, which is substantial and a really exciting time for us. However, we believe the opportunity is much, much bigger than that. The market experience, knowledge and connectivity that we do have, we have a very strong plan and an excellent team in place, but we want more. We want more in order to deliver against our objectives. Our 2020 sales are currently 350% above 2019. COVID considered, we're happy with that. And our sales will be 6.3 million by 2023, 2.5 million in revenue, and again, a 12x return for investors. We believe that this will give an excellent return for investors that are considering investing in us. And with my own parting words, I'd be delighted that if yourselves as an investor was to join us in this journey, we believe it's very exciting. We want to start selling the software. It is built, it's created, it's working, it's tested, and now it's time to start selling. And I'd love to hear any questions that you might have. Thanks for listening.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you very much indeed, Patrick. Very strong presentation there. And yeah, very interesting to hear a bit more about the business. We've got some questions already in, and I see Fergal's just come on there to perhaps pose the first question, if you can, please, Fergal.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Hi, Patrick. Great presentation. I just have a question here that was sent in advance, so I'll get through that one first. Just regarding copyrights, is there any, or do you have any copyrights on the software, Patrick?
Unfortunately not. Like with most software, it's we don't have specific IP on it.
Okay, and I have a question here as well, just regarding the demo as well. I'll get to that one. Could you, are you available to give demos for the software?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to. Yeah.
Excellent. So just get in touch. You know, your details are there in front of us. So
yeah, I don't think it's feasible to do it online here now. It'd probably take too long, so I think it might be a good idea. If anybody does want to see that, then perhaps you could even create a video and share that, Patrick, or if someone wants to get in touch with you personally, we can do it that way. Patrick, maybe you can just switch off your share screen as well, so we can see all of us on the screen in a little bit more detail as well. There we go. So that's that.
If you want, I can see about getting those links to those videos and put it in the updates section. And if people want a one-to-one, I'd be happy to do that.
Yep, very good. That would be useful. Another question that's come in here. What does Patrick see as his biggest challenges in achieving his numbers over the next 3 years? If his projections are realistic, there is considerable upside for investors today, but how realistic are the projections? What are the risks in hitting the numbers?
Yeah, it's funny when you're talking to people about projections and figures. When we started this time last year, we were being criticized by some people that we are too conservative, saying that, look, you have 75,000 sites potential with 2 customers alone, and you're saying you're only going to get 3,500. Surely you're underselling yourself here. I would rather err on the side of caution with projections and over exceed those. I don't believe that we're being overly ambitious. The main threats I think that we'll face is really with getting in front of people and getting the right channels to promote this software to them. Anyone that's used it, they straight away get it because it's very, very simple to understand. The majority of people have been through the pain of having to count and then do Excel sheets. They fully understand how simple of a solution that DigiTally will be that resolves their problem very, very quickly. And it's a very short onboarding process for people to get using the software and understand it.
Very good. Very good. Have you got one? Or
Excellent. Yeah, I have a question here that just came in from chat. Can you please explain the product and how it calculates margin? If a deli or if a shop sells a Mars bar, it's straightforward to calculate gross margin. But how does your app help calculate gross profit margin or wastage at a deli counter where there is bread, meat, cheese, salad, etc.? Which portion size is dependent on the staff, labor costs, etc. I don't understand how the technology can capture the labor costs, which is where the value add influences margin. And then I suppose the second part to that is, if the stock that is tracked has not been barcoded, is the data uploaded into your app manual, and when is the product or when the produce is added value and sold, is all the data uploaded manually?
Okay,
long question.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you for the second part of that one, Fergal, in a second.
Yeah.
With the margin itself, the margin, the way that DigiTally works is to be able to count the raw ingredient. And the way that we've done it is we take their original pricing file and we put in as part of the product file, or part of the original file, is the counting unit. So whether it be liter, kilos, 6-pack, 1-pack each, 10 in the case, it doesn't matter. It means that the person who's counting it can count it very quickly and very easily. We also have, with some customers who may have multiple sites, we have it broken down. If there's a case of baguettes with 60 in a case, our software will automatically separate. There'll be 2 entries for baguettes. There'll be a case of 60 and there'll be a case of one by one of them being each. So we can do it either way depending on the customer. So the way that the software calculates it is what DigiTally does, it values the closing stock figure. So DigiTally gathers the opening stock and the closing stock figure. For wastage, that can be entered in through the app, that people can enter in what's been wasted and then also the reason why. It's very, very simple to use. Again, we can show you in a demo how that works. When it comes to the other figures that generates a gross margin, are your sales and your purchases. We purposely didn't start off by integrating with third parties. We could be spending our life integrating with EPOS, with accountancy packages, with all different types of software. But the reality is, if you don't have at least 100 sites with that belongs to a customer of an EPOS company, they're not very interested in wasting their precious development time in integrating. Integrating is going to be a huge part of us as we grow, but it's get the customers first and integrate second. That's the way that we would see it. But it is very accurate in generating the gross margin. So it's an overall gross margin. It's not the question, part of the question was based around the different ingredients and how that affects. It means that people can capture the cost of those ingredients very accurately. And if you have a target of 50% in your deli or 72% in your restaurant, you can set that target. DigiTally will then tell you your discrepancy. If you're coming in at 70 rather than 72, it'll value that discrepancy, and then you can see where you're at with it.
Okay.
Very good.
There was a second part to that question, Fergal, I think was more around the labor, was it?
Yeah, around the barcoding, so it was if the stock that is tracked has not got a barcode, is the data uploaded on the app manually?
Yeah, it's uploaded on the app through the original product file, and if it purposely doesn't work off barcodes, most people, when they're counting it in its raw state. So with this master file, if let's say there's 5 or 10, 100 sites in a location, it's one file that's uploaded to the cloud, and then each site feeds off that file. So again, it just means that if there is a price change or a price update, it's updated once, and then that's immediately reflected across all sites.
Across the sites, excellent.
Very good. Another question's come in here. Very simply, what is the problem you're solving? Is there any other company doing the same and in direct competition? How are you covering the risk of losing one of the two developers?
Okay, so first of all, how are we? What was it, Chris?
So simply, to just really in a sentence, describe what the problem is that you're solving.
Yeah, the counting, collating, and reporting of gross margins.
Very good. And are there any other companies doing the same and in direct competition?
Not in a simplified manner that we've seen to date.
And how are you covering the risk of losing one or two of your developers?
Arthur is co-founder. He'll answer for himself, but I'm quite happy to say he's not going anywhere for now. Arthur has done all the heavy lifting side of things. Michael, who's been with us for 3 years, and anyone can leave as part of the business. But Michael is a very valued member of the team, and he's very happy with where he is at the moment. We have an excellent team.
Very good, very good. Question is, what is the capital value of this round? So what's the pre-money valuation?
Pre-money is 1.5 million, post is 1.7.
Okay.
I just have another one that just came in from the chat, Patrick. What is stopping someone from buying this software and then just reselling it to competitors? You know, and is there any kind of security that would stop, I suppose, piracy of the software?
In short, no. But because we have a very strong, both myself and Arthur have a very strong background in this subject. We have a combined 25 years experience in the actual counting of inventory. We know what's required and how simple we need to make it. We've spent nearly as much time taking away functionality as we have been adding it in, because otherwise, if it's not going to be right at ground level where people are actually counting it, the rest of it, as it's fed back up the chain of a corporate customer, the information is going to be wrong. We know what it takes to make it simple. The plans that we have and that we're developing currently are going to keep us ahead. It's very much first mover advantage that we're looking to secure at the moment.
Yeah.
Question in here.
And sorry, Chris. Yeah, just another one from the same attendee. Just while I have it, how long does it take for someone to learn how to use the software? And do you go in person into the site, or is it done virtually over the phone, or how is it how is the learning or the teaching of the software being applied, Patrick?
Yeah, customer onboarding calls at the moment are about a half an hour to show them how to start counting. We assist in the uploading of files if customers can't do it themselves. It doesn't require us to go on site. And it's very simple, very intuitive. We have web chat now through the website where people can contact us. Now, we've just signed up as of Monday with a company called WalkMe, which is a tool that makes software a lot more intuitive. That will assist in the onboarding process also, where people will be navigated towards help sections, towards automatic prompts that we'll be able to track where our problems happening, where our customer issues coming from, and then we can look to put things in place to rectify them.
Okay, brilliant.
Patrick, if you have challenges in your stocktaking.ie business, how will they impact on your focus on DigiTally? A GM is an employee, but not a CEO. And how can you focus on DigiTally wholly if, with stocktaking.ie in the background?
Yeah, I'm looking to keep the two of them very separate because while that's a business that I started with and has brought me well along the way, I feel that it's important that a foot in each canoe isn't going to work. So that's why I'm looking from a general manager. I appreciate, yeah, it's an employee. However, an employee with the share in the business would be something that would assist in driving them on further, and that's what I plan on doing. But no, my time is for DigiTally in the future.
Excellent. Question from the online board here. I know Patrick has already spoken about approaching McDonald's, but in my experience, it's something they need, and they still use the pen and paper to excel every night. There's been a lot of free ingredients, like lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, coffee, etc. Could they be approached, or is that something that could be revisited in the future, Patrick?
That's interesting, yeah, because it's one that I actually said before. I used McDonald's as an example as to why they wouldn't be a customer, but I'll stand corrected. I was surprised. I'm a bit surprised to hear that, to be honest. But yes, of course, they could be approached and targeted from the DigiTally side. Again, to white label the likes of something like what DigiTally does is something that could be quite easily done.
Very good. Okay, we'll just have one last question, and then we can answer the others offline, and we can publish those afterwards, Patrick. But last question is then, what level of customer retention does DigiTally have? Once a company signs up, is it reasonable to assume they are client for life?
I wouldn't say for life. We touted up earlier the last 2 years, there was 5 sites that left. So that's 5 sites over 3 years. So it's very low.
Very
so
good.
That's probably 3% over as many years.
Okay, very good. Okay, well, listen.
Lifetime value we put in at 4 years, and a potential investor said to us last week, I think you're underselling yourself. The fact that some are recurring now for 3 years, it says it is going to be going in the longer, and the fact that you're changing and editing, improving your software means that they'll probably be with you for a lot longer.
Excellent. Okay, great. Well, listen, thank you very much indeed for that. That was a very good Q&A session, and loads more questions in here as well, but I'm just conscious of time as well. Everyone needs to go and get their sandwich before it's back to work time. So listen, thanks very much indeed. So all the investors who are on the site, as you know, DigiTally are live and are taking investments. So please just go onto the site, click invest now, and away you go. If anybody has any questions that are still pressing and you'd like Patrick to answer, please drop us a line. We'll be delighted to introduce the two of you together, and you can have a chat or just a question over email or whatever it happens to be, whatever is necessary, and we'll get those answered for you. But for now, I think that is pretty much it. I just really want to remind everybody that DigiTally is EIS. So that means that if you are investing, let's say €1,000, then 400 of that is back to you in tax rebate when you do your tax return next year as well. So very much worthwhile having a look at that. So for the time being, I think that's it. So thank you very much, Patrick, and good luck, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks very much. Thank you all.
Okay, cheers, everyone. Thanks, bye-bye.